Okay. And you should be seeing on your screen that it has live up at the top. You can give it a couple seconds to finish out that connection.
Do you guys both see that at the top of your screen?
I see a little live red button, but that's all I see.
Yeah,
Perfect.
That's the live streaming service to it.
All right. So just to get some conversation so we can check audio and such when we rewatch the video. Tom, what was the first Civil War battlefield you ever visited?
That would be the Wilderness when I bought my house.
Okay.
right on top of the battlefield.
What about you, Chris?
Gettysburg. I grew up in Hershey, so that was the annual field trip for school every year. So.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I have to recant I did visit Gettysburg many years back before I ever even got involved down here. So that I have to correct myself. Yes, I did go visit the Field of Monuments many years ago.
Terry, what was your first battlefield?
Well, I mean, technically, I guess you could say, well, actually, it would be down here, because when I was in the National Guard, 2 summers we did our annual training at Fort A.P. Hill and once at Fort Pickett. So that was when I was, didn't actually get on the battlefield, but technically the battlefield, but was at Dr. Mikowski's wedding. So
Not that the wedding itself was a battle.
I'll double check that with your lovely wife.
That's true.
But the first time actually touring the battlefields is when I was here for Chris's wedding 6 years ago, and we did the bivouac site and Spotsy and the little pocket park that we a couple of years ago cleaned up there behind the Home Depot.
Oh, right.
Because you took was it Bob running around with us that afternoon?
I don't remember.
We had to run to the bar. We ran to the Barnes and Noble. We had to run to Central Park, and you had to pick up your tux.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And we stopped there because the interp signs were all vandalized and everything. And
right.
You were saying what a shame that was.
Yes. I don't remember who was with us that day though.
Well, the first battlefield that I visited was Wilson Creek in Missouri, because we were visiting family in Missouri. And I was very insistent that I wanted to go to a Civil War battlefield. So that was my first one. And a few years after that came to Virginia to see some battlefields. So
Wilson's Creek is not one that would end up on most people's list. So that's a good dark horse candidate right there.
Kristen at ECW is always very happy when I mention that.
You mean something took place outside of Virginia?
Well, shall we go ahead and test playing a couple seconds of a video here? Make sure that works for everybody.
Lisa just checked in and says so far looks and sounds good.
Awesome. So let's take it to the next level, and we're going to get that ready here.
And sorry, I won't need that link anymore because I just realized I have the video here since I edited it. To give you any idea how bad my brain is getting played on.
The cold passed reluctantly from the earth, and the retiring fogs revealed an army stretched out on the hills, resting.
The volume went real low on that.
With eagerness at the noise of rumors, it cast its eyes upon the roads, which were growing.
Do we have a way to turn up the volume on our end on that?
River, amber tinted in the shadow of its banks, purled at the army's feet. And at
Can you guys hear me? I know I see Terry's muted.
I can hear you. Yeah, the audio is coming through very low on my computer.
The audio is barely discernible.
Okay. Okay, so it was too low.
Correct. Lisa says it needs to be louder.
Okay, I've got it going full blast on my side. Let me think here, because we have to have certain mics off so we don't get the double feedback. So can we just confirm that there was no double feedback?
There was no double feedback, correct.
Okay, that's good.
So maybe
Can
we need,
you,
Go
can you
ahead.
turn the volume up on your end, on your devices, or is it all the way up?
No, let me double check. It was mostly the way up. I have it all the way up now. So if we test it again and it's low, then we need to do something on our end.
Okay, let's try it again. If it's I have to have the microphones on mute here when we're playing a video. So like give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down, and then we'll go from there. So let's try it again and see if turning it up on your end makes any difference.
Okay.
If it doesn't, then we're going to work on how to increase the broadcast noise on this side.
Okay. So you guys got to mute, so there's no gotcha.
You and I might also have to mute Tom so that we're not feeding back into the.
Well, let's try and let's see if it does feedback, then we'll mute. But let's see what happens without it.
The fictional story unfolds during the spring of 1863 and the Chancellorsville campaign.
Yeah, barely hear it.
Federal soldiers argue about the rumors for the Army of the Potomac's next movement. This has a profound effect on one young soldier, Henry Fleming.
He tried to mathematically prove to himself that he would not run from a battle. Previously, he had never felt obliged to wrestle too seriously with this question. In his life, he had taken certain things for granted, never challenging his belief in ultimate success and bothering little about means and roads. But here, he was confronted with a thing of the moment. It had suddenly appeared to him that perhaps in a battle, he might run. He was forced to admit that as far as war was concerned, he knew nothing of himself.
As the campaign march begins, Henry spends a lot of time observing his fellow soldiers in the regiment and pondering how he will react when he is in battle for the first time. Soon,
That was still pretty quiet from my end listening to
Yeah,
it.
it was better, but I don't think the people, if anybody's a little bit rough with hearing, is going to be able to deal with it.
Okay.
It was
Partway,
definitely,
yeah, it was definitely better. Partway through, it got a little louder. I don't know if you
yeah. After a couple seconds of running, it got a couple decibels louder, but nowhere near where it really should be.
Right.
I mean-
Okay. So it got louder when I removed the headphones. So now let's test it one more time. I'm going to take the headphones out and we're going to try to increase the volume on the TV here and see if that makes any difference. I don't think it's going to because it's going to be with the broadcasting system.
It would be the audio of where it's playing from, which would be this laptop. So us increasing the volume on the TV.
Right. That's only going to be us hearing it differently here.
Yeah.
So that's actually not going to make a difference. I've got
So
my volume.
you're playing the video from your computer using screen share?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the volume set at on your computer?
I have it all the way up at 100.
At 100. And
I will double check my settings to make sure that I'm not missing something somewhere. 1 second. Sound. Yeah, I've got it all the way up.
okay. And on your Zoom settings, if you go under audio, or go into your preferences for your settings, and for your output, what is your output level set at?
Is that under the microphone?
So if you go under, well, I guess I've got a Mac here, so I don't know what it shows up. But on my drop-down menu, there's a drop-down menu for preferences under Zoom.
Okay.
Now, if I bring up the preferences screen,
It might actually be on the other one because the other computer is acting as the host. Just 1 second. Ah, I found it. Okay, one moment. My output is all the way up on this one,
okay.
and let me run it up on the other one as well, since we're going off 2 devices here.
So whatever you just did, it increased the background noise, so it must have increased audio somehow.
Yes, I heard that as well. So I would rather have people needing to turn down the volume than have to struggle to turn it up.
Yes.
So
Lisa just texted us and suggests we start from the beginning because of that change in volume. So I'll start from the beginning to make sure it works.
Of the video.
oh, okay. I can do that. Let me get it back to that beginning. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and try that video again. So it'll be quiet on this side, so give us some hand signals if that's helpful.
The cold passed reluctantly from the earth, and the retiring fogs revealed an army stretched out on the hills, resting. As the landscape changed from brown to green, the army awakened and began to tremble with eagerness at the noise of rumors. It cast its eyes upon the roads, which were growing from long troughs of liquid mud to proper thoroughfares. A river, amber tinted in the shadow of its banks, purled at the army's feet, and at night, when the stream had become a sorrowful blackness, one could see across it the red, eye-like gleam of hostile campfires set in the low brows of distant hills.
Keep going. I want to hear both your voice and mine.
The opening lines of Stephen
Okay.
King's
I say
novel,
we're good.
Red Edge of Courage, are firmly rooted in the dirt and grass of Central Virginia.
That was a big difference. I think we're good on that. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, that was much better.
I mean, I'm on full volume, but it's pretty good. I would think what we might want to do is before we introduce everybody to the video, say you may need to turn up your volume before we introduce the video. That
Right.
might save everything. But that was about twice the volume as we started with.
Okay. We'll just double check those Zoom settings when I'm getting everything set up here. Was there any double feedback on your side?
Not on my side. Lisa says a lot better.
Okay.
Let me ask if there's any.
Because I heard a little bit, but I think it was just my computer, and I don't think it was going to be picking it up anywhere else.
She said she had no feedback or anything she could hear.
Great.
Okay, fantastic.
I guess what I'll do is we'll follow Chris's idea. We'll both mute our mics as well, just in case.
Okay.
But that played smooth, and I think the volume was okay. So
Sounds good. Okay.
I'll have it as a backup ready to go on mine just in case, since I'm running off of the primary drive and source with the video.
Right.
So if we have any issues, we'll just snap to that.
Okay. Sounds good. And I'll have it available on both of the laptops here as well.
That's the only video for the night, correct?
Only one.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So are you comfortable with us doing it here at the office? And we can stop the live stream now. I think we're good. Is
Yeah.
everyone good with that?
Sure.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll give you the all clear.
That's great.
No issues?
Is